Good morning from Constance Bay, Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. It's a gorgeous morning out here. So it's Friday, May 26th. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. And you can see we've got a gorgeous day going on here. And apparently we've got just a gorgeous week coming up as well. So we've been into, had quite a few frost advisories in the last at least a week. And here in the bay, though, because of the water, I guess, the modifying effect of the water, the closest we got to 0.3 degrees Celsius one night. And other than that, we've been 2 to 5 degrees at night while people around us were getting frost. So you can see the garden and the yard are pretty well ready for summer. I've got a couple things left to do. I'll show you that when I get downstairs. But things are looking really good. So when I took the dog for a walk this morning at about 6:30, it was about 5 degrees Celsius, which is probably, I don't know, about 42 Fahrenheit. So quite cool this morning. But right now at 8 o'clock, it's, I think it was 13 degrees when I looked on the weather station. So I'm now out in a t-shirt, and the sun is nice and warm. So we'll start over here. This is my bird of paradise garden. And you can see this bird did fantastic over the winter. Thanks to some neighbor friends of mine who have high ceilings in their house. Put a new tiki here. I'm trying a different procedure with this tiki. I didn't finish it off with any varnish, and I'm just going to let it weather, see how that goes. So I got my giant white bird of paradise, which is Strelitzia Nicolae, and another one in here. This one, if you watch my previous videos, you can just barely see it's being taken over by the ferns. It was a rescue, so I thought it was dead, but it came back to life, which is great. And over here I've got Strelitzia resinae, or the orange bird of paradise, hoping I get some flowers out of it. We'll see. I'm keeping it root bound because apparently that helps them flower, and anyways, we'll see how it does. And if you saw my video a couple of weeks ago, maybe, yeah, about a couple of weeks ago, there was basically nothing in this garden. It was the hostas and ferns were just starting, and now look at that. It doesn't take long. So a week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that. So outside the gate, I've got a Musa Bajou, which spent the winter in a pot. So it's starting to go, but again, we had such cool temperatures lately, it really hasn't done much since I put it in the ground. About 2 weeks now, and but with this heat that's coming in the next, we're supposed to get like 30-degree temperatures for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week. So hopefully it'll take off. And here's my Musa Bajou that spent the winter in the ground in a box, and you can see the difference. It's really growing. And Stephen got some pups. I don't know if you'll be able to see them or not, but there's a pup down there, and we can't see the other pup right now, but I've got another pup as well. But this Musa Bajou is doing really well, and so my recommendation for Musa Bajou, if you live in a climate like mine, 4B, 5A, is cut them down to about 2 feet and box it. Use Christmas lights just the way I do with the palms, except smaller box. Here's another Musa Bajou that I tried the dry root system. Doesn't look, it started off looking good, but maybe our temperatures were so cool, it just didn't produce yet. I'll see. I'll give it like another couple of weeks and see if it's going to do anything, but we'll see. And here's my Mexican fan palms. This one's been in this is its 3rd year in the ground. This one here. So doing really well. And of course I've got a Trachycarpus fortunae planted beside it, and that one spent the winter here. Both doing really well. This one lost quite a few leaves or fronds when I removed it from the box, but you can see it's coming back. Here's one that spent winter indoors at a friend's place, and it struggled through the winter, but you can see it's got a nice couple of spears coming up. So in a couple of weeks it'll look great. I think it's sold though, so it will be going somewhere else. And then of course got pineapple plants. They spend the winter indoors. Adam's needle yucca, and no protection for this. Does super well. Another pineapple plant. And over at this part of the garden, got another Mexican fan palm. Just planted this one a couple weeks ago because this is where my one had the box blow off in December during a huge windstorm. So I planted another one that I planted from, or yeah, that I grew from seed. It's probably its second year. First time out of a pot though. And of course, Trachycarpus fortunae beside it. Got a Tracania in the back of the garden. That's one that is kind of, I don't know if you call it a pup, but it's over here on my big Tracania. You can see got these kind of branches that grow out of it. I don't know how well you can see that. And they kind of fall off and then they re-root themselves. So I'm expecting this one to do that this year. Last year it didn't, but the previous 2 years it had a branch that blew off or fell off and rooted itself. So anyways, that's where that guy is from. Over here I've got my young palms over here. I think those are Canary Island date palms. I'm hoping. Brought some seeds back from Italy last year. And over here you can see these ones, they had a tough winter in storage. Some of them I thought were dead, but like this one here, you know, you can see it's turning green again, but so it's still alive. Hopefully the other ones will. I give them 2 more weeks. And you can see my tiki collection. I do tiki carvings. I'll be working on some this morning. This one is leaving me today. It's for someone's birthday. Somebody ordered it. So I got quite a few tikis. Outside our gate and down to the beach, you can see just about a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks now, the water was up to the bottom piece of those pilings. So top, the bottom piece, and to the top of this rock here, and oh sorry, top of this rock there on our wall, our retaining wall. So the water went down quite a bit. It went down at least 3 feet in just about 3 days, all controlled by dams. So I think some of the flooding is issues, dam control. There's our daylilies, hibiscus tree, and a couple of majesty palms on either side of the stairs, other hibiscus or daylilies. This garden, Mexican fan palm, spike, Dracania spike, majesty palms, Wigelia bushes. They should be flowering soon. We've got, of course, all kinds of rose bushes in here. Another Trachycarpus fortunae back there. Still in the pot. Those ones are probably going to be sold. And then this Mexican fan palm. When I removed the box, well, the front panel of the box, it was facing south, and it didn't like that. So next year I'm going to have to, even though it's very awkward to get at it, I'm going to have to take the south panel off instead of the north panel. But so it really suffered, but it's coming back really well. See the spikes coming up there. So, and of course, Trachycarpus fortunae. Over here, I've got a couple more spikes, Dracania spikes, and then a couple of big majesty palms. Spent the winter in a school nearby. Another Musa Bajou outside the gate again. That one was in a pot and put in the ground, so it's just coming along. It should go really well next week. And a dwarf or pygmy date palm in a pot, goes in for the winter. And my big Trachycarpus fortunae. Anyways, that's pretty well it for the garden. Now, all these plants are irrigated, so I put in an irrigation system a couple of years ago, and saves me about 45 minutes a day watering. So when you add that up per week, it's quite a bit. So I would recommend an irrigation system. But anyways, the yard is looking great. Weather is great. And that's it for a yard update here in Constance Bay.